Hey, welcome to another Flarecorp Media tech tutorial thing. I'm Jason, and today we're going to learn how to balance a Ronin-SC Gimbal. Now, why make a video about how to balance a gimbal that's 2.5 years old when there are already other videos out there? Well, in the next video coming out next week, I'm going to teach you how to use this to do a motion time-lapse of the Milky Way as it crosses the night sky. And if you're new to having a gimbal, I wanted to have a video to reference back on how to balance it, because in that video I tried to show you how to balance it out by a lake with bugs and in night vision, and so it's pretty hard to follow. And so if you need to learn how to do a balance, then this is the video for you. If you already have a gimbal or aren't interested, then this isn't your video. However, before you go, I wanted to say thank you really fast for all of you subscribers, because I just reached 1,000 subscribers after 3 years. And I wanted to say thank you to each and every one of you, because I couldn't do it without you. Now, I did say that I'd do a special bonus video for reaching 1,000, and fortunately 1,000 is not the magic number to get a YouTube poll. It's 10,000. So if you want to be able to vote on what that video is going to be, head over to Facebook at facebook.com/Flarecorp Media to see that poll. You can also follow along there to get notified when new videos come out, or see some behind the scenes stuff, or some photos I like to put out. But without further ado, let's get into how to set this up. I'm going to rewind the clock to when this was not set up and show you from the beginning. I'm going to try to be fairly detailed on this just because it can be confusing. So you have your little tripod right here. It's easier to put it on like this. You have your battery grip with two different size holes. We're going to use the smaller one, obviously. Make sure that's locked down nice and tight. And then I'm going to grab the big old gimbal and slide it on right like that. Now, I've already got some of this stuff set up from using it. I've attached the focus wheel right here using the screws, the included screws. And over here I've attached kind of a mounting bracket that also came with it. I actually don't need this focus wheel anymore for my Fuji camera, because they just released a firmware that you can control the focus using the USB cable. This is mostly just to get you ready to set up for next week's video. However, if you would like a full tutorial on how to use everything in here, leave a comment down in the description below, and if I get enough interest, then I'll go ahead and do that. We are going to need, for my camera, my Fuji camera, the multi-camera, USB to camera cable. There's a Sony one that's also a USB-C type. We don't want that one. We need the multi-camera one for the Fuji. Otherwise, it does come with one for Sony and one with a micro USB as well. And that's actually going to be it. This is a pretty simple process now that they've updated the firmware. Okay, the next thing you do is there are some locks here. It's locked in place. I'm going to come and undo these locks. There's one, and another one here, and a third one up here. Unlock those, so it should be in this configuration. You're also going to need the mounting plate. So the way this mounting plate works is there's a heavy side and a light side. So that means you move this screw around based on how heavy your lens is or your camera is. And so generally I keep it towards the heavy side. Not that my camera is super heavy, but I just found it's easier to balance when I do that. So I'm going to come and screw that in here. I just use a quarter or something like that to lock things down. It's always handy to have a coin with you if you're out doing photography stuff, because a lot of stuff you can actually lock with just a quarter. So something like that. Push the button here to slide it in. And you'll see I can't slide mine in. That's because I've locked down this slider so it doesn't move. So that way, right now it's actually balanced for this. I'm going to unbalance it and show you how to do it. If I unspin this, that's going to raise this lock up. And then I can also move it side to side. So it kind of stinks that they're on the same connector, but oh well. Push the button in, slide it in. Make sure you get it in, because a couple times ago when I did this, I did not have it all the way seated in. I actually had it kind of like that, and went to move it, camera fell, damaged the door. So let's slide that in, it's in. Just for now, we'll lock that in. When you go to balance your camera, you need to make sure you have it exactly how you're going to be filming with it. So you need to have your lens on already. You need to have your filters on if you're going to use them. You know, your hood. If you're going to have a microphone up top, you need to have that on. For me, I need to have my USB cable connected. So I put the right angle one back here so it stays out of the way. And then we'll pop the door open. And just like that. So this is just a 16mm lens. Okay, now that everything's attached, we can go ahead and start balancing it. And what we're going to do is we're going to balance it on each axis. So 1, 2, 3. And the first one we're going to do is the top one. So support your camera and then unlock it. And mine is swinging forward. So that means I am front heavy. My lens is heavier than my back. And I could solve that a number of ways. But the easiest way to start with is I'm going to slide my plate back. That's why it's so big. And so first, this little thing here is to keep track of when you finally get it balanced, where to put this thing back in so you don't have to go through this. Because if you use the same setup every time, you shouldn't have to balance every single time. So I'm just going to move that out of the way, and then we're going to come and loosen up that screw down there again. And we're just going to start kind of moving that backwards up too far. If you have a very sensitive tipping point, then, like I do currently, then that means you probably need to change your height adjuster over here. So I want to just lock that down for a second to keep it from flopping around, keep my camera safe. And then I'm going to loosen this up. And what we need to do is kind of get this so that the center of gravity of your camera is in line with the middle of this axis. So we're just going to kind of do that. You see I'm going to kind of do a couple things at the same time. Slide that back. You don't want this to bottom out though. You may think, oh yeah, I'll just put it down there and that doesn't swing very much. But one, you're going to hit things back here, and two, that's not going to be balanced once you try to actually check your balance. You need to kind of get it right in the middle there. And if you absolutely can't get this set, then you need to take your whole camera off and slide the whole plate back. Remember that screw, heavy, light, you need to move the whole thing that way too if you can't get this part to balance. Sometimes I can do this in all of 3 minutes, but today I'm obviously having more trouble. And if it's really not moving, that means you have it too low. So we'll just slide that back up. What you want to be able to do is point it in several different directions and have it kind of stay exactly where you want it. Need to lower this just a scotch. And this is the trickiest one to get balanced. Yeah, you should be able to point it all the way up. I'm going to call that close enough. So make sure you lock down everything. We don't want stuff moving now that we spent time balancing it. Now you can come and push this all the way back and lock it down. And now we could come here and take it out. And when we slide it back in, we're going to hit that nut. And we know we've gone back to the same spot that we were just in. And yep, still balanced. Okay, so we have that axis balanced. So let's go ahead and lock that down so it's not wiggling around. So now we need to balance the roll axis. So that one is this lock over here. And you see mine instantly swung that way. So that means my right side is too heavy. So we've got this locked down so we can find our spot again. We're going to loosen this and start pushing the camera that way. This kind of has gears, so that way when you unloosen, take the whole camera off, it doesn't move, hopefully. And it's good because you can go incremental, but it's kind of tough to push. That looks pretty good, so we should be able to, I usually say if you do this and it comes back to the middle, and if you go this direction and it comes back to the middle, close enough, then you're good. So we'll lock that down. Okay, now that we have these two axes balanced, let's work on this one. So we'll unlock it down here. And you should be able to turn it a little bit without it moving around. And so that obviously swung that direction. That means my back is too heavy, so let's push that in a little bit. And the front was swinging, so we need to come back just a bit. And you can see that's pretty good, so we'll lock that down. And now when we unlock everything, we should be able to point it in just about any direction and have it stay. You see mine keeps swinging down on this axis. That's probably because I need to adjust this just slightly. You saw the way I balanced it earlier. I allowed it to swing. You should be able to keep it perfectly balanced. But I have a feeling when I finally go and check the balance using the app, it'll say it's good enough. Okay, now we just need to connect the app and check our work. We're going to go ahead and click the connect to Ronin, but first we need to turn it on. The power button is right here. Hold that for 3 seconds, the lights turn on. Okay, so device list. Go and click our Ronin. I've already paired this. Go through the instructions to pair it. So we're going to click on the balance test. And it's going to ask us to make sure that we tilt it more than 15 degrees. I'm just going to tilt it kind of like that. You can see at the bottom it has our current gimbal incline angle. So we're going to go about 20 here. It's going to start moving. You see the gimbal moving. You want to do this at a catty corner like I'm doing. Like I'm going this way, not sideways, not forward. Do it at an angle. Okay, balance test results. Excellent, excellent, excellent. So pan is this direction. Roll is this gimbal. And tilt is this one. So now that's it, we're good to go. I also like to calibrate the motor parameters. If I change what this is on, like if I have it on a tripod or something, I just like to do the calibrate that so that way it's not overworking. And so I'm gonna just hit auto tune and leave it as it is. I don't wanna hold it because that's gonna change how much structure it has. So I want it to be however I would be recording. So if I had it on a tripod, I put it on a tripod, do the motor test. It's going to shake just a little bit. It's seeing how much movement, how much wiggle it has. Okay, calibration successful. So now we can come in here and everything should be working. Which it is. So now that you have your gimbal all set up, you should be ready to go for the star motion time-lapse tutorial in the next video. That's going to do it for this video. If you appreciated the information in it, please give it a thumbs up. Helps other people find my video when they're looking for this type of thing. And like I said, while you're at, go ahead and click subscribe and click that bell to get notified when the next videos drop. But until next time, I'm doing what I love. Keep doing what you love. Thanks for watching.